Hey, welcome back to another episode with CB4S, Coaching Businesses for Success. I'm Sherry and I'm with
Megan.
um, today we wanted to talk about getting new clients for your bookkeeping business. Whether you're just getting started or you're looking to grow and scale it to really hit your targets. We have a resource and surprise for you at the very end, so stay tuned for that.
Yep.
Megan, so right now this is coming up a little bit. I mean, it's always a topic, but going into the fall, so we're approaching fall right now. Discovery calls are definitely increasing as far as people reaching out. Hey, I filed an extension. I need to get this finished. Or hey, I'm just worried about the upcoming tax season. And I
Right.
and something off to
Yep.
get it in order before. The third reason would be they're trying to do tax strategy and they need their income and expenses to A, pay their quarterly taxes, and B, to calculate what they might go at the end of the year. So now's a great time to start getting that information if they want to buy expenses before the end of the year, make a large capital expenditure, something like that to mitigate their tax implications. So definitely seeing a rise, like the preemptive, summer's starting to finish and wrap up. Now we're starting to think about taking our business seriously, right? Like,
Right.
the bookkeeping.
Yep.
What advice? So I'm sure you're getting calls just like I am in the one-to-ones that we do with our coaching students. But what advice are you giving them? What are you hearing that would be helpful?
A lot of what I've been hearing, I guess, has been like more of like marketing questions that I've been getting is like marketing suggestions. Because they know that we've been getting a lot of calls and stuff like where should they be showing up, how to start conversations with potentials and stuff like that. So I mean, for me, it's just been making sure I was consistent with my marketing the whole time. So I do a lot of Facebook marketing, but continuing to just constantly post there so you stay in or whatever marketing you do, so you're kind of staying in everybody's front of mind. And then just continuing to follow up, because there's a lot of people who you might have had conversations with at the beginning of the year or last year, whatever. And if you just keep following up, they could potentially end up signing as a client. If you've done cleanup jobs for them one time, like I always keep them on a list and just kind of continue to check in with them. Hey, how's things going? Stuff like that, just that way you're still staying like in the front of their mind for when they're ready to sign. And as far as like conversations and stuff go, for me, I don't, unless I'm meeting somebody in person and it just comes up like, hey, I'm a bookkeeper and we kind of talk about what we do and stuff like that, I don't just message people on Facebook. So I just kind of wait and let them come to me after posting on Facebook, or if I see that they're looking for a bookkeeper, then I'll reach out, and it's just kind of asking them questions about what they're doing currently to kind of get a feel for how I could help them and what exactly they're looking for. Because everybody, when they say, hey, I'm looking for a bookkeeper, seems like they have something different in mind, what their end goal is or what they consider bookkeeping or what they're doing personally and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's been. What about you?
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Everyone has a different view on what bookkeeping is. Some people are looking
Most
for a really
definitely.
data entry person, and so filtering those out when you're doing your intake. So when they're booking a call or when you're having that conversation, it's helpful to know. That way you know if they're a good fit. So, and I know some bookkeepers who do more virtual assistant type data entry. So that's definitely an option for your business in general. But it's something to know in case it's not, or if it is, right? Like if that's so that you're getting the right fit. Yesterday I was talking to a couple people and they were talking about finding quality clients or the right clients, their ideal clients. And I had to drill down with them because there was a couple of different people and ask more specifically, what does it mean to have a quality client? What does it mean to have an ideal client? Because that looks different for everyone. Is it someone who wants to pay you X amount, right? That's a different quality of client. Is it someone who's super responsive, like responds to you within 24 hours, gets you, always make sure you have what you need, is always checking in, make sure you have what you need? Is a quality client someone who's hands off and is like, oh yeah, you have access to my bank. I don't want to do anything with you until you're in,
Right.
and then, but I'll answer the questions you have. So I feel like it varies what is a quality client to every person, because some people are like, I really want to schedule a call with you, and some clients don't want calls. Other clients want a ton of calls, right? I think one of our coaches just experienced a client who wanted way more calls than she has ever given to anyone else. And so that wasn't really an option because she's also a homeschooling mom. So that's not practical. And so so it just came up as like an issue between her and the client of the expectation wasn't one that it's a boundary that she's created in her business, and a good one, an okay one. So yeah, quality clients.
And I think that's important. A lot of people don't realize, and I say don't realize, coming from, I know for me, like you come from working for somebody else to working for yourself. Like now you can create those boundaries. You can design your business however you want to see it. So if you don't want to take the calls, or you just want to do emails, like you can set that up from the beginning. You just have to set those expectations.
And knowing that that's an option is really important. I don't think I knew that that was an option when I started.
Right.
Because I came from corporate.
Yep.
So you're on calls, you're answering emails, all of those things. I was just listening to a story of an agency owner who does $1 million a year by himself as a digital marketing agency. But here's how he does it. Let me share this with you. I thought it was super intriguing, but I'm sharing it because of the highlight on he chose how he wanted to run his business and made it work for him. So he charges $5,000 a month to do unlimited digital marketing. So logos, graphic designs, digital agency type graphic things. That can mean website design, that can mean a brochure design, whatever. You name it, you have the need, you can ask him to do it. He uses Trello, so he'll have a discovery call with you if you want to, but really you sign up on his website, he onboards you to Trello, you follow the steps, and then you just add what task you need, and he does it one at a time. I think he has about 20 clients, so he's at about 100,000 a year. That's what he can manage, and so he scaled his price. He didn't start at 5,000, but he scaled it up to 5,000. So now he has about 20 clients at 5,000 a month, and it's just him. So it's all Trello, though. There's no phone calls. There's no whatever. Once he's done with a project, he moves it over to a board for you to review. So his clients get an email saying, hey, it's ready for review. If there's any revisions, they say, hey, here's the revisions that are needed. And then it goes back in the queue. And I just thought that was so interesting because even from a bookkeeping standard, we say that there's no emergencies in bookkeeping. But I find bookkeepers all the time that are acting like things are emergencies. Like the client wants to talk to me, the client wants this done by Friday, all of these things. But if we stepped back and took ownership, took stock of here's the boundaries my business has, here's how my business operates, and go forward with that and just say, this is the business I'm running, versus letting other people tell you how to operate and run your business, or finding your value in a discovery call going well. It changes your business, and it changes, I think, how much fun you have in it. It might slow it down because you're not saying yes to absolutely everything, but it's going to be more rewarding because you are going to get those quality clients, because they're going to be clients that are aligned, that fit, that really want that model. And you're actually going to go farther faster versus getting frustrated 6 months, all of a sudden losing 3 clients because the expectations were met, not compatible with what you wanted and what they wanted, but they were led to believe that it was something else, or at first they were okay with it, but then they're just really not. And that's going to happen in general, right?
Right.
but it changes your perspective on you as a business owner doing this business versus I need money. I'm desperate to make this work. And I'm just going to say yes to absolutely everything.
Right.
And I think there is a time where you say yes to a lot of things. Like opportunities are good. We want to say yes to showing up. We want to say yes to things that move our business forward. But we don't want to say yes to everything as to be a distraction from our actual mission, our actual why. Makes sense?
Yep.
That was my thought.
Yeah, no, definitely.
There's so many options to a bookkeeping business. I asked our group yesterday. So those in the membership group, I asked them, what is one thing you love about your business and what is something you want to change? And the number one thing that they all loved was the flexibility, the freedom that they get with being a bookkeeper and really owning your own business. And bookkeeping means there's no emergencies. So you get the staff, you set up a system and you execute the system, whether it's you or you're working with a contractor, you hire a virtual assistant under you to help do some of the work, especially if you have young kids or homeschooling. Yeah. Or you have a 15-year-old, you have a teenager and she's busy. So being able to show up and be present for that, you're still in a season, right, where there's external things that you want to do. Therefore, contractors are super helpful to keep things moving. And that's also a great way if someone's looking to get their feet wet, if they really don't have any bookkeeping experience, to start to learn what even happens with bookkeeping from a different perspective. Okay, so we have a couple of minutes before I have to jump on a one-to-one with one of our bookkeepers. But I wanted to show you guys this. I'm going to pull this out of, this comes from our Bookkeeper Blueprint. So the Bookkeeper Blueprint is start to finish on your bookkeeping business. It is not just how to set up your bookkeeping business. It's not just how to do the work, but it's heavy on how to do the work, right? We really believe in helping you understand what it looks like to run a bookkeeping business and execute the work. We also teach you some of the accounting behind it. And I think that's one of the cool things about ours is I do have a master's in accounting. So I made sure they put some of the how-to accounting side of things in it. But it's really heavy on the how and then all the pieces in between. And one of the pieces in between is emailing clients, right? So if you're familiar with corporate, if you've been in corporate, I don't know if you've had a job where there's like templates for everything. One of my accounting jobs, there was a template, there was like a binder of templates for everything. Every email had a template. Once you get on your own, you have to create all of those yourself. So we gave you a head start. We have a ton of templates in that. And one of those is asking a prospect to book a call with you. So if you're at a networking event or you had someone send you a DM or something and it didn't really go anywhere, you can simply send them this message and it comes from the Bookkeeper Blueprint available to you. And you can just tweak it to their name, what they're struggling with, and how you solve that felt need. And invite them to schedule a call in your calendar. So if you're looking for more calls, this is an actionable way to follow up with people who have asked you questions, or an actionable way to touch base with your email list. If you have a warm email list that they've opted into a freebie, or you've networked with them, they've met with you before, to send you that email list. To prompt, hey, let's revisit this. It's going into the fall, and you can absolutely tweak this. This is just jumping off point, but the course is jam-packed with stuff like this. So definitely something to go check out if you're always like, there's some bookkeepers that just are like, how do I communicate with clients? What do I say? And that's a great starting point to just, what do I say? What things should I be emailing about? So disengagement letter, how do you let a client go? We've got one of those in there as far as email goes. Proposal template,
rate increase,
rate increases, like it is jam-packed with really everything you would need for to grow. And I'm sure it's missing something, but we're constantly adding. I added
And if
yesterday.
if I was about to say that if it is, let us know. We'll add it. We'll get it for you. You know.
There's a support thing at the bottom, and when students use that, we get on it right away because we're open books. So if we use it in our business, it's probably in there. Or we just haven't added it, and we're happy to share. We're total open books. So
yep.
So I will put the link to that course down below, a link to our free Facebook group. So if you have bookkeeping questions, want to talk to us further, that's a great place to start. So check that link out. Subscribe to this so you keep getting our weekly videos to grow your business.
Yep.
That would be helpful. I was a YouTube alcoholic, YouTubeaholic, when I started my business. That's where I got all my information. So and then I did other stuff, but I will see you guys next time. I've got to jump off with a student, but
all right.
thanks for
Bye.
jumping on. Bye.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.